Obviously a great team coming in. We're excited to be home, excited to be here in our stadium with our fans. Hope it's really loud and really difficult on them.
We understand the challenge that's coming in. You know, they got a very high-powered offense, can definitely make a lot of explosive plays, so I'm looking forward to it.
Give everything you've got today. It's going to be a dogfight, no matter what. Let's come out here and do our thing. Let's go.
Yeah, it's a good offense, but I feel like we have what it takes, you know, to come out there and compete and give them a run for the money.
That's the way I like it, baby. Let's begin the world.
It's going to be extremely exciting, extremely fun atmosphere.
I know that tank today. Whatever the you got, we need all of it.
If you love football, there's no place you'd rather be than in our stadium at home. Standpoint. That being said, just, you know, again, in regards to everybody else out there on the field, Mike Daniels will not be out there at practice again today. I know Danny's been out the last couple of days. He's going to go out and is feeling a little better, so we'll go see what that looks like here today as we go through everything else. So, like I said, he's a pretty tough kid, so he's going to do everything possible to just get himself ready to go. We're trying to be smart as far as that's concerned. Big day for us here today, you know, just getting ready for the Chiefs and trying to obviously do a great job here in the red area. Some of the other situational installs that we have for today as far as that's concerned. But really difficult team to defend in the red area. They have a lot of weapons. They have a great package. Andy does a good job of scheming that all up and really giving their go-to guys a lot of different plays and putting them in really good positions to score. So that'll be a big challenge for us there. And then on the other side of the ball, a lot of pressure from the defensive line. Those guys do a great job of getting after the quarterback, stopping the run. Very aggressive down there. They'll blitz a little bit more too. So we got to just get all those looks here today, try to do the best we can with them and keep improving, get ready for the game. So it's just part of the process. It's a good week for us, trying to grind through to get better, and hopefully that all shows up here on Sunday as we get ready to go compete. So just another good work day for us. So.
Top candidate, over the past couple of weeks to give him this opportunity?
Yeah, one of the good things, for the guys on the field and why we do what we do, when we do our show teams or guys are, giving looks on the other side of the ball, and we've seen a couple good slot receivers, a couple good systems that we faced. He's done a really good job, obviously, going against our first defense and man coverage work and getting open on the routes and understanding the concepts of what we're doing, and then being able to mix in with our offense and some of the other competitive periods that we do. We do quite a few competitive periods, offense, defense, through the course of practice, just to always kind of gauge where players are at. And may not be exactly what you're going to do that week as far as the look, but, the more competitive the reps, we always feel is valuable from that standpoint. So I think he's done a great job of taking advantage of those competitive reps that we've had. And I'll say probably the biggest thing, too, is just, there's special teams value that he adds as far as, being on the roster and being up. Helps us in the return game. He also helps in some of those matchups with the skill players. He can play fast. Obviously he has a background in lacrosse, and so some of those kind of man-to-man or one-on-one sort of situations situations that come up in special teams, very similar as far as that's concerned. What he continually just tries to improve, and that's been good so far.
Insurance for Amendola, I mean, beyond the fact that he's earned the opportunity, I guess, he's just
Yeah. I think he's really earned the opportunity, and I think for us, we're always just going to try to, put everybody out there that we think will help us, give us an opportunity to win the game. So certainly all of that ties into it, and maybe more than just from an offensive perspective, maybe overall both phases of the game, having the extra bodies that can handle some of the speed and some of the different schemes that they do. It's a very fast football team that we're playing. It's not only fast on offense, it's very fast on special teams. Those returners are. They hit top speed really fast. They do a great job of setting up the return game for those guys, and just making sure that we have those players on the field that can handle that.
And then you guys, you are in first place right now. I know it's week 3, but what do you make of that? I guess at this point of the season.
No, we're just none of that really matters. Just trying to go play well this weekend.
Not a talking point, point of pride or anything.
Nope. Just go play the Chiefs.
How much different does a pass rusher have to approach this game, or playing against Kyler Murray, or some of those guys that can get out, as opposed to someone that is going to stay most of the time in the pocket? Is it different mentally facing those guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's different every week, as far as the quarterbacks are concerned, and how you depends on the protection systems and how they use their backs and their tight ends. A lot of teams will use extra guys in the protection. It's not always the same traditional sort of offensive line and halfback sort of blitz pickup or protection pickup. They can mix different personnels in there and packages to be able to do that. But certainly we try to do what's appropriate for each game, to help ourselves in the pass rush, and the quarterback's a big part of it. Obviously with Mahomes, this guy kind of does everything. He can run, he can scramble, he can extend plays. He's got a strong arm. He obviously can, throw the ball across the field without looking. So I think there's just a lot of things in there from a defensive standpoint. You just have to be disciplined. It's a really kind of a disciplined game for us from that standpoint, because he does it all well.
Just to follow up on that real quick, do you have to be more creative out here, like in terms of the types of looks you're giving your defense, or who you're even using to try and mimic? I mean, you're obviously not going to replicate what he can do, but just to try and mimic some of the things he does.
Yeah, definitely. You try to break down some of the different scenarios that are going to come up in the game into different groups or units or individual periods, and work on each individual aspect of it, because we don't necessarily have one person that can do all of those things really well. So try to break it down, break down the skill set, and rep those particular plays, in that kind of controlled environment. That's what we try to do the best of our ability. So whether it's he gets out, when he runs, when he can extend plays, him being able to push the ball downfield, with the vertical pass game that comes up with it, the quarterback run game that he also has in his arsenal. You try to break those all down and emphasize them in a smaller scale, so that when you put it together in those team settings, at least you've practiced them in the best case scenario possible. So if you're worried about his speed, then you make sure that for that particular look or that particular play, you have someone that has enough speed to kind of, really generate that accurate look the best that you can. I'll come back to you.
Because of similarities in your defense and your defense, do you maybe pay more attention to what they did in their 2 wins over Kansas City and Mahomes last year, with how they, both defensively and maybe frustrated Mahomes a little bit?
Can, as far as teams that do things that are similar. There's probably a lot of other teams out there that I look at that do things that are similar to us too. May not be coverage concepts, it might be front concepts, either way. I think those games from last year are great to watch. It's teams in 2 different points of the season. I think by the time you get to games 18, 17 into the season, your teams have really changed. Your schemes have really changed. You're really doing things at a high level for whatever fits those particular circumstances, and that's not really where I think either current Chiefs team or our team is at right now. We're trying to just do a good job of where we're both at in September. So they're good games to watch, just like all of them are. But you can't dive too far into some of that stuff from that standpoint.
This game is for you guys to get a sense of how big it is for the fan base. If you guys win on Sunday, I got to believe you're going to have a ton of the fan base kind of excited and bought in, where maybe up to this point they're not kind of sure which way to go. They kind of get a sense of how big this is?
I think for us, it's just our next game. I mean, I think that's where you have to keep it. It's September. We're trying to go into, this week and play really well. And, for us, we just appreciate our fans in general. I think for us, we're trying to play extremely hard for our fans every single game. We're trying to do everything we can to win. I love our fans. I love the energy. I know it's going to be loud. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to be a part of that. And, for us, like we say all the time, if you love football, where would you rather be than 1 o'clock in our stadium? So that's what's great about it. That's what's awesome about it. We appreciate that. But it's just the next game for us. We got to go in, we got to grind it out, and we got to try to win. And when that's over, we're going to have to try to do the same thing for the next game. And that's really how you have to approach it so that we can stay consistent. We don't ride the highs and the lows of the NFL season, just like you can't ride the highs and the lows of a game individual of itself, because you miss the moment and you have to live within that moment in order to execute in that moment. If you get too far out of that, you're going to miss it.
But just a quick follow-up. In the back of your mind, I understand you're busy with everything else. There's not a thought that you say to yourself, beat these makes nothing?
No, it's really just the same approach. Every game is tough. Every team in the NFL is great, and if you don't take that right approach every single week, look, everyone has the ability to win and to make it not look real good. So if you don't just stay consistent with it, then things tend to get out of whack as far as that's concerned. So there's going to be good games, there's going to be tough games, there's going to be not so good games, and we just got to try to improve as we go through. And other than that, that's really just our focus, is just staying consistent with it.
You obviously didn't have the season you wanted to last year. You played 2 of your best games against the Patriots and the Rams. Just curious about your team's ability to play up last year to that kind of competition, and whether it gives you any kind of confidence going into a game like this.
No, I mean, last year's last year, this year's this year. For us, it's just trying to get better. I think and trying to put a lot of the pieces together to improve on some of the things that we haven't done so well so far this season. I think there's been some positives, obviously, so far what we've done, but it's not. It's certainly there's a long way to go as far as that's concerned. So our focus is just trying to improve those areas that that we recognize are not up to par, and that we know that every team out there is taking a look at, and they're going to try to exploit until we get it fixed and make sure that it's right. Those will be problems for us as the season goes. So it's not about last year. It's not about anything other than just trying to, beat Kansas City this weekend and play better.
Maybe not comparing the two, just last year, why do you think your team was able to play up to 2 teams like that?
We'll dive into that maybe another time and think about last year. Right now, we're just kind of focused on this week. Hey.
Two more guys?
I hope my question doesn't annoy you, because it piggybacks slightly on theirs, but I had my hand raised earlier. But just
Never annoyed.
with all of the stuff that you just said,
Yeah.
could Sunday be a little bit of a measuring stick to kind of see where your team is just against one of the top tier teams in the NFL right now?
I mean, no, we don't really look at it that way. I don't know where anybody's going to be right now in September and where they're going to be in December, or where anybody's going to be in January. Nobody knows that right now. All we know right now is that we got a really good football team coming into our house on Sunday, and we got to play well to go beat them. So that's just our focus. We don't go anything bigger or smaller than that.
Playing against such an aggressive and impressive offense, does that change your early game strategy in terms of early down or fourth downs, being more aggressive on those opportunities, even if the score doesn't necessarily dictate it?
I don't think it changes the down and distance maybe sort of thought process as far as that's concerned. You just have to really understand what they do well, and certainly it's a very explosive team, so you have to stay consistent, and you have to just really, you have to stay aware. You have to stay alert for, the entire 60 minutes, and obviously the job they've done in the second quarter, I think, has really been very impressive as far as how they've been able to attack teams. So for us, it's just maintaining that constant focus, every single snap, so that those plays don't happen, because they are so good at it.
When you're on offense, you may be faced in a situation where you would normally kick a field goal, but it's fourth and short. Would you potentially be more aggressive in an effort to maybe keep up with Kansas City?
Hard to say on a Friday. Some of that stuff is really in-game feel also, which way things are going and how it looks, how it feels as far as the style of play of the game. Sometimes the game itself has a different feel once you get into it. But certainly there's going to be nothing more important than points in this game. That'll be, one of the biggest things that we do offensively is scoring, and defensively trying to keep them out.
Would that be the same thing for 2-point conversions? Because Baltimore last week was pretty open about saying that the analytics said that they should try to go for 2 more. Does that play into it more, or is that something you look at more early and we say, yeah, I'm going to do
The 2-point thing is really a good conversation because I think there's a lot of teams that explore different philosophies with that now, especially since they changed the rule and all that. There's definitely teams out there that will go for it regardless of who they're playing. It's just kind of their philosophy to go for it and go for it and go for it. I would say, for the most part, we're just trying to stay routine on the scoring schedule as far as that's concerned, and getting extra possessions become important, especially against a team that is so explosive. The possessions of the game are critical as far as that's concerned. So you want to make sure that the scoring kind of schedule stays consistent, stays normal.
12 kids come up to the game this weekend from there, so it's kind of a joint effort. So it'll be a cool little thing, and we're just incorporating both of those, having the kids meet other kids and have a good time, and we got some little fun events planned, so it'll be pretty cool.
Do you have a special connection with the boys and girls clubs?
Yeah, I mean, so my parents have known people there for years, and while I'm here, they get to do events there and go and help the kids with tutoring and blah, 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 so forth and so forth. So honestly, I like helping kids. They need help more than anybody, especially growing up in today's world. So I just try to do what I can to help.
Casey, how about the Bahamas? I mean, we all know what happened.
Yeah.
A special connection
I wouldn't say special connection, but I mean, I've gone to the Bahamas the last 2 years, both summers, and I love it there. I really do. It's been one of my favorite places to go. I mean, been to South America, Dominican, Bahamas, all over the U.S., and it's definitely my favorite place that I've been to. It was the place I just, like I said, just went there and then saw the damage that happened or went through, and it was just, luckily I live in 2 places where I don't have to worry about tropical storms, hurricanes, or anything like that, and it's just sad to see, really.
We're at the men's club Sunday at Ford Field.
Yeah.
What kind of game are you looking forward to?
This should be a good game. Obviously, they're a hot team, high-paced team, could put up a lot of points. So we're looking to play our best game, and we're going to have to win. So both coming off good wins last week, and that should be interesting to watch.
When you look at them defensively, some of the numbers that stand out, 137 yards they've given up on the ground, 6.2 average. When you look at that, you maybe see some opportunities.
I get a lot happier this week than I did last week. That's for sure. Just numbers wise, but they see they see the same numbers we see. They're going to come out. They're going to know that we're going to try to run the ball. It's been our MO the whole year. They know that's what we want to do. That's what they're going to try to do, is to stop it.
What did the Ravens do? Why were they successful running the ball?
I mean, the Ravens are a good team. You got a quarterback like that and a couple of running backs like they do. They have a lot of options to go to. It's a hard offense to stop. So, but they ran the ball hard, and that's something I've got to do. That's something all the running backs have to do. Is they did very good job of breaking tackles, making extra yards where there were none, and I think that's why they were successful running the ball.
Have some success up the middle too. Did I hear that right? I mean, it wasn't just.
That's what we try to go for every game. That's the easiest way to get to the end zone is a straight line. So up the middle is where we try to go with it. And like I said, they did a very good job breaking a lot of tackles, and hopefully I can do the same.
I think you had 20 carries last week. I think you're getting enough touches right now to really fully probe in there and make something happen.
Yeah, when you get 20 carries for like 30-some yards, you think you got too many touches. But, I'm taking what I'm given. If they want to give me more, they want to give me less. I mean, we're winning, and that's what I care about.
You guys have had.
You're seeing more 8-man boxes than everyone besides that.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I think we play a considerable amount of tight end formations with multiple, and we have a lot of guys at the tight end position that are doing well. So they're catching the ball. TJ's had his games here and there, and Logan's a threat. Obviously, he showed that last game, and Jesse's been a threat, is a threat now. So I think with that and the combination of them wanting to respect our run game and knowing, and it's helped our offense. I mean, Stafford's been doing very well. Receivers have been exploding every single game. It's a different person. So, if that's what they got to do, and that's what I have to see, then hey, so be it. It is what it is.
So what's the key to beating something like that? Is it just getting the passing game going to force?
Yeah, definitely, and which we have. And so it's only a matter of time before one game or 2 games or 3 games straight, they got to make a choice. Either we're going to keep letting Stafford kill us, or we're going to let our O-line beat up and the running backs run, and I'll be waiting for that game.
For receivers with 100 yards, though, I mean, at some point defenses are going to have to look at that, right? I mean, that's an NFL.
Yeah, at some point at some point they got to be like, hey, we're tired of this, or they can gang up on me and just keep stopping us in the O-line and keep trying to stuff us in the face. But like I said, as long as we keep winning, I don't think a running back or lineman or any of us is going to be mad about it. So, they're having to choose and they're making the choice.
When you watch the film, though, is the frustrating part just how close it is? It seems like it's
especially
it's
especially like you said with the heavy boxes we see, and then you can steal just one more here and there, or one broken tackle here and there from my part or anybody else's part. It's always one little step away, but like I said, those things are all self-inflicted, and it's better to be self-inflicted than not.
Yeah, that goal where you scored the touchdown, the 3 straight Kerryon. So I'm sure you're getting some push in the interior, though. That's something that's starting to kind of come together a little bit.
Yeah, our guys are getting nastier and nastier on a daily basis, so and that's something you like to see from the O-line, and they're taking pride in making their blocks, and once they do their job, it makes my job a whole lot easier and makes my job a whole lot better. So I encourage it, obviously, and we want them to keep doing well.
Seems like Frank's having a pretty good year so far. I mean, it's early, but
Yeah.
it seems like he's doing a really good job with the run blocking.
Yeah, he is doing very good. I definitely agree with you, not just because he's my old lineman, because he really is having a fantastic year. He's had some tough matchups here early, of course, some of our tackles and guards, but he's been doing very well coming into year 2, and we've all been happy with him.
So what about his game or his body or whatever it is lends itself to center and the run blocking?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at him, he's not just 6'5", 330 pounds, but for him to be his size, he's very smart, obviously, and he plays with a passion like no other. He gives his 100% effort on every block. He wants to make every block. He moves people when he has to. And like I said, he's very smart, taking on more of that leadership role and identifying fronts and things like that all the centers have to do in the NFL, and he's doing a good job of it.